99% of men never hear this. But you're about to. Within the very first hour after waking up, your body makes a decision. It's either setting you up for strong performance all day, or quietly chipping away at it. Now, here's the truth most men don't realize. Every single morning, your choices decide whether your circulation sharpens or stalls, whether your reflexes stay sharp or slow down, whether your confidence rises or quietly disappears. Think about it. Have you ever woken up and just felt off? Heavy? Drained? Stiff? Maybe you notice your energy isn't what it used to be. The spark is dimmer. And intimacy? It feels more like a memory than a rhythm. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond tell me this all the time. Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore. And here's the kicker. A landmark Harvard study revealed that over 80% of performance issues in men don't actually come from low T. They don't even come from just getting older. They come from one thing, circulation. And the hidden blockages in your circulation often begin with tiny, overlooked habits in your first waking hour. But here's the good news. Those same habits are easy to fix. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Dr. Catherine Rockra, a men's health specialist. For over 20 years, I've helped thousands of men reignite their energy, their confidence, and their vitality without relying on pills, gimmicks, or expensive gadgets. And today, I'm going to walk you through a simple, 4-step morning routine that jumpstarts your circulation, balances your hormones, and reawakens your performance. It's not complicated. It doesn't take hours. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll even share a little-known adjustment that helped one of my patients, a 64-year-old man, completely turn things around in just 7 days. So, if you care about your strength, your focus, and your confidence, make sure you hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss a future video. But first, let me ask you. Are you ready to start fresh? Just type yes in the comments if you're in. If not, no worries. Type no so I know what you're looking for. Now, let's bust one of the biggest myths about men's health right away. Your manhood, your performance, your drive, your energy, does not depend only on testosterone. It depends on healthy circulation. Because every single signal, every single response, every rise in confidence, starts with blood flow. When your circulation weakens, everything else follows. Energy drops. Reflexes slow down. Desire fades. Motivation slips. And the real culprit behind this? Something called endothelial dysfunction. That's just a fancy way of saying the inner lining of your blood vessels stops working properly. When that happens, your arteries stiffen, less nitric oxide gets released, and blood can't move like it used to. That's when the symptoms begin: low energy, weaker drive, sluggish mornings. Now, most men are just given a pill that covers up those symptoms. But the root cause? Still there. Let me tell you about Joe. Joe is 68. When he came to me, he sat quietly in my office, almost embarrassed. His words were simple. Doc, I don't feel like me anymore. He missed the spark. The connection. The pride. It felt like his body was shutting down on him. But here's the amazing part. After just 3 weeks of targeted circulatory work, starting with a new morning routine, Joe came back with color in his face and a smile I'll never forget. I feel present again, he told me. Alive. Capable. And you know what? He's not alone. Multiple studies show that simple morning activity boosts nitric oxide release, improves blood vessel function, and helps reverse endothelial dysfunction, even in later years. And here's something most men don't know. Erectile dysfunction? It's not just an intimacy issue. It's actually an early warning sign, often showing up 3 to 5 years before heart disease. Think about that. What happens down there is actually a powerful signal of what's happening everywhere in your cardiovascular system. In fact, by the time you're in your 60s, your blood vessel dilation, the ability of your arteries to expand, can drop by more than 50%. A healthy man in his 20s has around 7 to 8% flow dilation. By 60? That drops to just 3 to 4%. That's not just a small dip. That's a biological slowdown. And no amount of motivation can overcome poor blood flow. It's like a firefighter trying to put out a fire. He can be ready, willing, and strong. But if the hose is kinked or the water pressure is weak, nothing happens. That's exactly what happens when men try to boost libido without addressing circulation. It doesn't work. The good news is this: blood vessels can repair. Endothelial cells, the ones that release nitric oxide, respond quickly to the right signals. Especially in the morning. Now, why morning? Why is this first hour so critical? Because this is when your hormones are more active. Your cortisol naturally rises. Your testosterone is at its daily peak. And your blood vessels are more responsive to stimulation. In other words, your body is primed to perform. But only if you give it the right input. In fact, clinical studies show that the same routine done in the morning can be up to 3 times more effective than if done later in the day. But sadly, here's what most men actually do. Picture this. The alarm blares. First move? Grab the phone. Immediately, you're hit with news, emails, or stress. That spike throws your cortisol rhythm out of balance. Then it's straight to the kitchen. Coffee on an empty stomach. Maybe a sugary pastry. Or maybe nothing at all. No water. No real fuel. And then? Straight into a chair, at a desk, in a car, or on the couch. That routine creates a quiet disaster. Blood stays thick from overnight dehydration. Stress hormones spike from screen time and caffeine. Processed food, or no food at all, triggers inflammation. And worst of all? You're still sitting. Under the surface, here's what's happening. Your heart works harder to push thicker blood. Your vessels constrict instead of relax. Your testosterone, meant to rise, gets blocked by stress chemistry. And your nitric oxide, the very thing your circulation depends on, never gets activated. All of that, before you've even started your day. One of my colleagues, Dr. Michael Harrison, a respected internist, had the same problem. For over 30 years, his mornings were exactly the same: roll out of bed, sip coffee, eat toast, fast shower, rush into work. But by 62, he was wiped out by noon. His clarity was fading. His drive was gone. At first, he assumed it was just aging. But after running labs and reviewing his habits, the truth was clear. His morning routine wasn't supporting him. It was slowly draining him. And the same is true for millions of men. So here's the bottom line. Your body is wired to respond strongly to the morning hours. Between 6 o'clock and 9 a.m., testosterone reaches its peak. Cortisol rises to regulate alertness. Blood vessels are more responsive to nitric oxide. If you give your body the right input in this first window, you unlock a cascade of benefits that lasts all day. And that's why in part 2, I'm going to walk you step by step through the exact 4-step morning routine I've used with my patients. It takes less than 30 minutes. It's simple. And for most men, it starts working in just 7 days. But before we get into the routine, I want you to really sit with this question. Backhand index pointing right, what does your typical morning look like? Are you supporting your circulation, or unknowingly hurting it before the day even begins? Drop your answers in the comments below. I read every one. Step 1, morning sunlight exposure. Your first step is simple: get outside and expose yourself to morning sunlight. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. Now, you might be thinking, really, Doc? Sunlight? Yes. And let me tell you why this is so powerful. Morning sunlight is like the master switch for your entire body. It flips on your brain's circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates your hormones all day long. Here's what happens when you get that light exposure. Your testosterone production gets synced. Cortisol regulates naturally, so you feel alert but not anxious. Melatonin, your sleep hormone, resets so you sleep deeper that night. And here's the big one: sunlight directly stimulates the release of nitric oxide from your skin and blood vessels. One study even showed that men who consistently got early sunlight exposure raised their testosterone levels by up to 25% in just 2 weeks. And listen, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to climb a mountain at sunrise. Just step outside. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is more than 30 times stronger than indoor light. Want to double the benefit? Add light walking or gentle stretching while you're outside. That signals your body to wake up, circulate, and deliver oxygen-rich blood. Patient example, Gordon. Let me give you a real story. Gordon, 66, an accountant, told me his mornings were always the same: coffee, emails, then straight to his desk. By lunch, he felt wiped. By night, he felt disconnected from his partner. We kept it simple. He stepped outside for 10 minutes every morning. No gym. No extra effort. Just sunlight. Within 3 weeks, he started waking up naturally without an alarm. His energy was consistent all day. His testosterone rose 18%. And, in his words, the spark came back. That's the power of step 1. Step 2, diaphragmatic breathing. The second step is diaphragmatic breathing, slow, deep belly breaths. Just 5 minutes. Here's why. Most men breathe shallowly from the chest. That keeps the body stuck in a stress mode called sympathetic dominance. But when you breathe deeply from the diaphragm, you flip the switch to parasympathetic mode. That's the recovery state where your body heals, balances, and restores. Here's the method. Sit or lie comfortably. Inhale through your nose for 6 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat about 5 breaths per minute. It might feel strange at first, but here's what's happening under the hood. Cortisol, your stress hormone, lowers. Testosterone production gets unblocked. Nitric oxide surges in your nasal passages and lungs, expanding blood vessels by up to 20%. Oxygen delivery improves throughout your body, including to your brain and muscles. In other words, 5 minutes of breathing sets the tone for calm focus, steady energy, and better circulation all day. Quick tip: if standard breathing feels boring, try putting on soft music or doing it outdoors after your sunlight exposure. Stack your habits and make it enjoyable. Step 3, 1 micro set of strength exercise. Now that you've primed your hormones and circulation, it's time to fire up testosterone directly. Step 3 is 1 micro set of a compound movement. Not a full workout. Just 1 set. That's it. Choose one of these. Bodyweight squats. Push-ups or wall push-ups if needed. Step-ups onto a stair. Do 8 to 12 slow, controlled reps, enough to feel your muscles working, but not so much that you're exhausted. Why does this matter? Because your testosterone responds directly to compound movements. They signal your body. Strength still matters. Keep producing it. Studies show that just 2 to 3 minutes of morning strength exercise can trigger up to a 20% rise in testosterone. And it doesn't just affect your muscles. It tells your brain and your blood vessels, stay young, stay active, stay sharp. Example, modified exercise. One of my patients, Ron, 72, struggled with knee pain. Squats weren't an option. So we started him with wall push-ups. Just 1 set every morning. Within 2 weeks, his energy improved, his posture straightened, and his confidence returned. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you send that signal. Step 4. Targeted testosterone boosting breakfast. Finally, Step 4. A targeted breakfast within 2 hours of waking. Think of this as fuel for your hormones. Your body needs protein, healthy fats, and key micronutrients to manufacture testosterone and support blood flow. Here's a simple example. 2 to 3 scrambled eggs. A handful of spinach sautéed in olive oil. Half an avocado. A small side of berries, blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries. That gives you protein for hormone production, healthy fats to stabilize blood sugar, zinc and magnesium, essential for testosterone, antioxidants to fight inflammation. And if your sunlight exposure is limited, add a vitamin D3 supplement, 800 to 2000 IU. In men who are deficient, this one step alone has been shown to boost testosterone by up to 25%. So let's put it all together into a simple flow. 6:30 a.m. Wake up calmly. No phones. No blaring alarms. 6:35 a.m. Step outside. Get 10 minutes of sunlight, maybe walk or stretch. 6:45 a.m. Sit or lie down. Practice 5 minutes of deep, diaphragmatic breathing. 6:50 a.m. Do one set of a compound movement, squats, push-ups, or step-ups. 6:55 a.m. Eat a clean, protein-rich breakfast with healthy fats and berries. That's it. 25 minutes or less. But this small window recalibrates your entire system, circulation, hormones, metabolism, and mental clarity. Patient story number 3, James. James, 63, a retired contractor, followed this exact routine. When he started, he felt dull, no drive, constant brain fog, and a relationship that felt distant. After 6 weeks? His words were, "I feel 10 years younger. But more importantly, I feel like myself again." It wasn't a pill. It wasn't a supplement. It was consistency. So here's your challenge. Try this routine for just 7 days. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. In part 3, I'm going to show you how these small steps create a feedback loop where blood flow improves, energy rises, sleep deepens, and confidence returns. And I'll also share the exact nitric oxide boosting breakfast variation my patients use to double their results. So stick around. Hit subscribe. Tap the bell. And tomorrow morning, before you reach for that phone or cup of coffee, remember this. Backhand index pointing right your first 30 minutes can either drain you or rebuild you. The hormone of circulation feedback loop. Here's how it works. Morning sunlight plus breathing triggers nitric oxide, relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation. Improved circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients to your testes and adrenal glands. Stronger circulation supports testosterone production. More testosterone builds muscle, increases motivation, drives energy and libido. More energy and activity improves sleep quality. Deeper sleep restores hormone production. And the loop continues. This is why my patients see changes that compound over weeks. It's not about chasing a one-time boost. It's about creating a system where each day amplifies the next. The nitric oxide, a boosting breakfast variation. Now let's zoom in on breakfast, because this is where you can double your results. Remember, nitric oxide is the master molecule for circulation. Without it, blood flow is weak, arteries stiffen, and testosterone signaling breaks down. So here's the breakfast variation I recommend for men who want an extra edge. Beets or beet powder, packed with nitrates that convert to nitric oxide. Citrus, like orange slices or grapefruit, provides vitamin C, which protects nitric oxide from breaking down. Leafy greens, like arugula or spinach, high in nitrates and magnesium. Protein source, like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie, gives raw material for hormone production. A drizzle of olive oil or handful of nuts provides healthy fats to stabilize hormones. This combination does 2 things. Keeps blood sugar steady, so no mid-morning crash. Supercharges nitric oxide production, so blood vessels stay open, flexible, and responsive. One of my favorite simple recipes is a beet spinach smoothie with a scoop of protein powder, half an orange, and some chia seeds. Fast, powerful, and science-backed. Patient story: Anthony's transformation. Let me tell you about Anthony, 69. He was skeptical, said he had tried everything for energy and intimacy. We started with the basic 4-step routine. 2 weeks later, he added the nitric oxide breakfast smoothie 3 times a week. In 90 days, here's what changed. His blood pressure dropped by 12 points. His testosterone rose 22%. His wife told me, with tears in her eyes, "I feel like I have my husband back." This is why I emphasize the long-term loop. It's not magic. It's biology working in your favor. Why this works for 60-plus men. Now, some men ask me, "Doc, am I too old? My system is too far gone, right?" No. Here's the truth: your body never loses the ability to respond. It just needs the right signals. Think of it like soil. If you never water it, nothing grows. But if you add sunlight, water, and nutrients, it comes alive again, even after years of dryness. Your body works the same way. Sunlight is the signal. Breathing is the reset. Strength movement is the spark. Breakfast is the fuel. And age doesn't erase this biology. It just means you need it more consistently. So here's what I want you to take away. This isn't about adding more to-dos to your morning. It's about reclaiming the first 30 minutes of your day. To tell your body, your hormones, and your mind. Backhand index pointing right, I'm not done. I still have strength. I still have drive. I still have life to live. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your loved ones. And you owe it to the man inside you who still wants to feel alive. If this routine made sense to you, try it for 7 days. Leave a comment below, "I'm in," so I know you're joining the challenge. And make sure to subscribe, because in the next video, I'm going to share the evening routine that locks in these gains, helps you sleep deeper, and ensures your testosterone keeps climbing, day after day. Remember, youth isn't a number. It's a signal. And starting tomorrow morning, you can flip that signal back on.